Are we live?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We live?
Yeah.
Okay, so I ain't gonna curse.
Make sure the camera's right. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Hold up. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Bro, you man. Queens native.
Queens native, man.
Queens native.
We go way.
Professional basketball player. 12-year career.
Yeah, still going, bro.
Still going. So, look, I guess I'm gonna start at the beginning. Born in St. Louis. Grew up in Queens. I mean, I know you bounced around a little bit. But
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, bro. Where did your passion come from?
It was how much fun we had. You know, like we weren't in the highest league, but we had fun. Like every game was fun. You know.
Let me make sure the camera's right. Let me make sure the camera's tight. We live? Hold on, let me make sure it's right. Let me make sure it's tight. Are we live? Oh yeah. Big Flea, CEO here. Back at it again, y'all. Back at it again. Are we live, y'all? Are we live? Episode 49. We all the way at episode 49, y'all. On the cusp of episode 50. We working, y'all. We working. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for tapping in as I bring y'all the latest edition of Are We Live. Again, like, share, comment. Save this episode once I post it, y'all. Save it once I post it. I know I'm on another account right now. Hope I could bring everybody over. Instagram was doing some weird stuff, so you know we gotta keep the show rolling, keep the show moving. So I'm here and we gonna rock. So again, thank y'all so much. Hope everybody had a blessed weekend. Hope everybody's safe back at home in New York. I heard y'all had a little hurricane, tropical storm, that kind of thing. Hope everybody's safe. Want to give a special shout out to Bean. Happy birthday, Kobe Bryant. Would be remiss if I didn't show my man some love. My favorite player, and I believe the greatest player of all time. That's a whole nother conversation. But again, shout out to Kobe Bryant. Happy birthday to him. Another special shout out to Greg Smith for tapping in with us last episode. He was amazing. His story was great. If y'all didn't hear that already, I'm on all major podcast platforms. Go ahead and check that out. And the video is posted on my page, y'all. The video is posted on my page, and y'all can check that out. We've been on a little tour lately. Been moving around Houston, moving around to Philly, moving around to Cali. We're going to come on back home. And we're going to get this brother in the building. See, I don't know who y'all checking out right there. That's Mr. Justin Marshall, Queens native. We're going to get him in the house in just a few moments. And we're going to get this good conversation rolling. He's going to bring us his story. And it's going to be a goodie, y'all. It's going to be a goodie. So let's lock in. Let's get Justin in the house and let this good conversation roll. Again, y'all, appreciate y'all so much for tapping in. Again, share this with everybody, y'all. Share this with everybody. Look like my brother is in the house. We're going to send that to him. And we're going to lock in. We're going to get it going. See if we could get him in here. Just.
Yo.
My brother, what's going on, man?
Good. Can you hear me? Everything good?
Yo, man, everything is perfect, bro. Everything is perfect. I can hear you perfectly, brother. Hear you perfectly.
Yeah, it was good to be on here, man, for real.
Yo, thank you so much for taking some time out and doing this with me, man. I really appreciate it, brother.
Nah, of course. You know, I've been keeping up, so you know,
Yo,
I definitely get part of it. Sure.
Yeah, man, you've been supporting me a lot, man, and I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Nah, of course, man.
Yeah. Let me introduce you the right way, though, brother. Let me introduce you the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't know who y'all looking at right now, this is a Queens native, Christ the King great, a brother who took his talents and played 4 years at Iona College. Miraculous career there, in my humble opinion. Went on to play overseas in Austria, played in Luxembourg, played in Portugal. Please help me welcome to the show, Mr. Justin Marshall, y'all.
Thank
My dog, appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Like I said, it's good to be on here. This is actually my first live. Like, I'm just making sure that, everything's straight. We got the good communication going. So,
Yo, it's I can hear you. I can hear you well. The visual as well. Everything is good, brother. So again, I'm grateful for this, man.
all right, all right.
Yeah, I know we Queens cats. I know we New York cats, but I had to show love to Bean today. So you got your Met hat on, so I love it. But I had to show some love to Bean today.
Okay, okay. Now, of course.
Yeah.
It's a special day. I'm honored to be on the show, especially on a day like today. Everybody knew Kobe. Everybody had love for Kobe. So
Yeah.
I want to show my love too,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
player. And I know we all seen Kobe in 96 when he entered the league out of high school.
Yes, sir.
So, it's a special day.
Yes,
Sure.
yes. So this all kind of came together for the perfect day, bro. I appreciate that. But yo, let's jump right in, man. Let's jump right in. I know you keep up. My energy is high. I love this. I love interacting with you guys because you guys have just left a tremendous mark on the game, and I appreciate you guys so much. But you're a Queens cat. We both from Queens, man. We come up in that inner city and stuff like that, and everybody's story is different on how they get into the game and how they develop that love for the game, right? Talk to me, brother. How did that happen for you? How did you develop that love for the game of basketball?
I would say I was fortunate enough to live, right across the street from the park.
Okay.
I'm from Corona, Queens, so I lived on 112th Street, right across the street from 143.
Okay.
I stayed in the park. I mean, I heard the ball bouncing going down the block. I'm like, who's that? Who's going in the park?
Right.
Grew up on the game of 21. No fouls, stuff like that. So just to get outside every day, 6-8 hours a day playing in the sun until the sun goes down. Like the park was something for me.
Okay.
That I gained a lot of love from just competing every day.
Gotcha.
And this isn't even 5-on-5. This is just like 21.
Just hooping. Yeah.
Sure, just working on your game and seeing who's in the park. I think that gave me a lot of love for the game for sure. As far as like my start.
Got you. So I remember, man. Us not having a personal relationship growing up, but people through passing, through watching hoops and stuff like that. And
Of course.
you were just super athletic, brother. Super, play above the rim, all that kind of stuff. Were there guys that you were watching that kind of made you play that way, or was that just natural ability, natural talent, just how you rocked, how you played?
I think growing up in that era, this is Vinsanity. This is
Okay.
T-Mac. This
Okay.
is these are guys that play above the rim, and
Right.
I knew I was gonna grow up to be about 6'7", 6'8" or so. So,
Okay.
and I was at the guys in the league at the time in college playing above the rim, and I just knew that had to be a part of my game.
Gotcha.
That just came natural for me a little bit. But like just watching those guys, you was excited every night to see a highlight.
Of course.
Heavy. So
Yeah.
guys definitely inspired me to want to play above the rim and stuff like that.
Okay.
For sure.
So I did a little homework. Josh. I did a little homework. Holly had a couple people, did some reading and stuff like that. There's I wouldn't call it a rumor, but there's a slight theory, right? You went to IS 73 in Masspeth, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
correct.
So somebody said to me that you were recruited to Christ the King from IS 73. Can we clear that up right now? And if that is true, what was that experience like being recruited at that time of your life?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, going from Corona, taking the 7 train and then getting on the 58, getting all the way out there to Masspeth was different.
Right. Okay.
On a daily basis. But there wasn't really a team there at 73. Again, it was kind of like that morning. You get there an hour before school.
Okay.
You had about an hour to cut up real quick before you went to class. You might
yeah.
a little sweaty, like, hold on. But
yeah,
I remember 7th grade, 8th grade, I was always playing, getting there early. And
Okay.
one day, I had seen somebody with the burgundy suit, Christ the
Okay.
King logo on there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
looking at my grades and stuff. And it was one of the coaches at CK,
Okay.
and that's when he invited me to the camp.
Okay.
And that was like my first kind of like introduction as far as like Christ the King and stuff like that.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maspeth is actually a town away from Middle Village, so
Right.
you know,
I went to Martin Luther High School. So
right,
that's right. Yeah, that's right in Maspeth. So I
Mhm.
got you. I'm following you. I'm following you.
Okay.
So, most guys, most prominent players in the city, right, have like one or two, mentors or coaches that, when they look back on their career, they credit them for helping them with some kind of development, right?
Yeah.
You got a chance, to play at Christ the King. You grew up in Queens and stuff like that. Can you speak to any guys that, mentored you or guided you, coaches that guided you early on, in your career?
Yeah. For sure. I got a list, man.
Oh man,
There's
let's talk to
a
me.
lot
Talk to me.
of, first and foremost, I gotta give a lot of credit to Douglas Jones.
Okay.
Douglas Jones helped me out a lot. Just getting out to tournaments,
Hmm.
and a lot of games and stuff, and
Okay.
encouraged me to play hard. Man, Douglas Jones helped out a lot of people, a lot of kids in the community in Queens at the time.
Okay.
The guy who played in the park, he found me kind of like in the park and Elm Court. Elm Court is like a major gym in my neighborhood, and
Right. Right.
everybody knows you can catch me at 143 or you can catch me at Elm Court hooping, and that was
Okay.
just my imprint, in
Okay.
Queens for the most part. But Douglas Jones,
Okay.
uh, Greg Coles, who was from
Okay.
East First, he was a good influence. And then I ran into Artie Cox at the time as well.
Okay.
So early on, definitely Douglas Jones, Greg Coles, and them. There's a few other coaches, obviously, not off the top of my head, but
Uh,
guys were very key into helping me develop.
that's dope. That's dope. That's dope, man. We all, especially being young black men trying to figure this thing out, playing ball, just trying to navigate through life. So you need that. That's dope. That's dope, man. That's dope.
No, of
So
course.
Christ the King High School, probably one of the most prominent boys basketball programs ever, right, in the country, right?
Yeah.
When you decide to go there, do you realize what you're walking into in terms of the reputation and how storied they are?
So to be honest with you, like I didn't really understand what it was about. Even when the coach showed up at my school, I was just like, what's this about?
Okay.
School about. But then I started picking up the articles,
Mm-hmm.
and this is heavy when it's Zach Williams there, Omar Cook's there. They got an All-American there, and I start to realize the value and the power of just being, at this school, at this program,
Right.
amongst men and women.
Right. Of course.
Like, it was big time.
Yeah.
And I like, is this the top school in Queens? I gotta go. I have to go. If this is the top, then this is the place that I need to be at, because
Got you.
that's where I see myself in basketball in New York City. I want to be at the top program. So
Of course.
me, seeing old Zach going to Ohio State and Omar Cook going to St. John's and the buzz that they have going on, it's like this has to be the place for me.
Got you. That's dope. And it's going there, going to a Catholic school, getting that kind of education. That's a privilege, for guys like us coming up, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just to have like a coach interested in me to go to a high school, being in 8th grade, you just like,
Right.
Hey, all right. Like,
Yeah.
at the time I'm looking at Forest Hills, my zone school's Flushing.
Okay.
So I'm like,
that's not a big basketball school, right? So
not at all. So then you hear about the Christ the King, and I'm like, oh, this is right up my alley. Let's try to make this work. Only makes you want to work harder going into that year.
Yeah, definitely. So I've said this several times on this show, and I'm gonna say it again. The CHSAA at that time was probably the toughest high school league in the country, right? In my opinion, right? The toughest in the country.
Hands down. Like,
thank you, Just. Like,
hands down. Every night, as a battle between guards, between forwards.
And that's where I'm going. Just like, I've talked to plenty of guards in the CHSA, right? But I'm getting a chance now to talk to a big. Yeah. Who were some of your toughest matchups during that time while you're there playing at King and in the Catholic School League?
You got to think about it. You got Curtis Sumter, who's playing over there at Laughlin.
Right.
And, he was a skilled big at the time. He wasn't just, in the block. He was out on the perimeter working.
Right.
He was my tougher assignments. Chris Taft did
tough.
2 years. Pitt went straight to the league.
Yeah.
Sagari was 7'2", 7'3" with the wingspan.
with the long arm, right.
Like people don't understand. Like I was the 6'6", 6'7" guy, going up against 6'8", 7 foot. Don't get me wrong, I held my own, but it's like
absolutely.
There was some matchups that some programs in the country couldn't deal with, because we had some, like Rice was a top school in the country as well as St. Ray. So you got schools in the country battling in one league.
It's a dog fight every night, Jeff. Fight every night.
For sure. Like you get one loss in your column, now your national ranking is down. Like you out there. Yeah, it was definitely a dog fight. And I loved all of those matchups, and it's nothing but love for all those players that, I competed against.
Yeah, absolutely. That's dope. So, you spending time at Christ the King, you getting in that culture, right? You playing ball, all the exposure that that school provides you, right? The summer before your senior season, you get the opportunity to play at 5-star. You get the invite. What was that experience like? And, how did that prepare you going into your senior year?
Yo, 5-star was wild, man.
Okay.
5-star was wild. I had a game. 5-star. I had a game in Harlem with my boy Fry, Jared Fry.
That's my dog.
Right. We went straight from the game in Harlem to 5-star. Like we made sure we took care of the game in Harlem, and this is those where you got 3 games and whatnot.
Okay.
And we went straight into 5-star, and it just so happened me and Fry was on the same team. And I think I had Demetrius Nichols on my team at that time. He led the Big East in scoring at some point with the Deuce and everything.
Yeah.
But 5-star was fun. Again, it was a time to compete against so many different players out there, just to who's who and kind of line them up. Like, he good. Let me show them what's going on over here. Everybody repping they area, part of town. It was a dog fight at a summer camp.
Gotcha. And you competing against everybody.
Of course.
Everybody in the country. That's crazy.
Yeah. 5-star was, those kind of camps back then was super competitive. So
would you say that summer prepared you to go into your senior season and be so successful that year?
I would say that was the first summer that I got a chance to kind of get loose with another team. Usually, primarily, I played with Jafet and Mitch a lot, a lot of tournaments, but, we didn't really take our show on the road. That's when we kind of up and went to different AAU teams. And I actually went to play with the Ravens that year. I went to go play with the St. Raymond. So I went to go play with my rivals. But
But you in Vegas playing with them.
Yeah. I'm in Vegas.
That had to be dope.
No. That was that. I mean, we took Vegas with that team. We took Vegas with that team. That team was full of a bunch of killers, a bunch of guys who could play multiple positions. And that's what a lot of colleges got to see me playing the 3, playing, just playing the all around game. So So that was a big summer, huge summer. It's just as far as like just playing and put myself on that national spot. When we won Vegas, they was just like, "Who's these guys here?" You know, from the Raves, and they're like, "Oh, he's from Christ the King."
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was kind of weird, but it was dope to play with those guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome, bro. So senior year, you know, you were part of a, you know, again, in my opinion, an historic team. That's a really great team you were part of your senior season. Y'all go 26-8 that year, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about why you guys were so successful. And like the chemistry was so crazy. When I used to watch y'all, again, I'm in high school, but you know, Christ the King is like here for, you know, for other guys around the city. So when I used to come and watch y'all, I'm like, damn, they know what each other. The chemistry is crazy. The cohesiveness is crazy. Why was that? Why was y'all so tight?
That's just a product of 4 years of kind of like the same guys practicing. I mean, practicing hard, man. I mean, practice 6 days a week, you know, at times. And then, you know, we had such a great freshman year when we won the championship. We had to play freshmen, so we won the freshman championship. We knew by the time we were going to be seniors that we had a real good chance of doing, you know, putting in work in the city that year. And that's kind of like what we did. We built that off of playing defense. You know, Japheth, Mitch, Chris Martin, Brian, and everybody. We played a lot of defense. There's a lot of low scoring games. A lot of teams playing against us, so we thrived off that. Seemed like it's broke up.
I got you.
We good?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Okay. And we just knew that our senior year we could do something special here. And for the most part, like, you know, coach let us rock. You know, we got out there, hoop, pressed people, you know, locked a few guys up.
Yeah.
You know, we took our show on the road, won a tournament. And then, you know, it set us up to have a good season. So those times were special. Obviously, those times were special because you don't really, when you're going through it, you're not thinking like, oh, this person saw me play, that person saw me play. By the time I got to college, I heard about all my stories in high school. You know what I mean? Like you just you just playing, man. You're just playing so many games. So
that's dope.
It was a special time, special group of guys. Japheth, Mitch, Chris Martin, Brian, and those guys. Anybody who contributed. You know, I'm missing a few names, but you know, everybody knows it's all love when we see each other. And
that's a special team, man.
I wouldn't trade those moments for anything because we definitely let the city know that we was one of the top teams in the city and state.
Yeah, that was a special team, man. That was a special team. So I had and I think he's trying to get in, and I might even get him in so I could get y'all two's perspective on this. But I had Japheth on a while back. He's a super big supporter of this platform. My brother, you know, y'all really showed me a lot of love, man, and I really appreciate it, right? But me and Ja spoke about the New York State Federation Championship game against Lincoln, right? And you know, he expressed his disappointment in losing that game and things like that. But I'm just curious to see, you know, your perspective and, you know, what you remember from that game. I know it was a tough loss, but, you know, you right there in a game against the other top public school in the city. Talk to me about that game a little bit. What do you remember most about it? And we're gonna get Jai in here for a second. Let's see if we could, you know, rap for a second.
That's one of those games that you gotta live with, stick with, and remember it.
Okay.
And say, damn, we was right there from having the state championship. This is kind of like the goal that we had for the year. And it was a tough loss. I actually fouled out in that game.
Oh, okay.
You know, Lincoln was pressing us. I think we actually had a lead, and you know they forced a few turnovers, and you know, they got into overtime. It was a little bit of a dogfight.
Okay.
They came out winning that game. Japheth played great. I played okay. You know, I fouled out, had a little bit of foul trouble, but you know, they was the better team that day. I thought we should have won the state championship, but that's something that, you know,
of course,
it's an experience, and it was, you know, to play that many games that year and not win the state championship is tough.
Right. Nah, I'm sure, man. Real fast. This is my first time doing this, and I'm getting, two guys that played together on the same high school team, and just again show so much love and support to this platform. Let me see if he got a second, if he could shed, y'all could shed some more light on that state championship game. I know he in the house. I just sent you a request, bro. If you want to pop in and
again, we was one of the top teams in the country. I'm not gonna say just the city and the state, but definitely top teams in the country.
No question.
Remember against JJ Riddick, like guys like these guys are all Americans, and my man Mitch, he locked them up for a game and stuff.
Hey, listen, Mitch has been on my radar, just like you. Mitch been on my radar. I need to get Mitch on and really rap with him. He deserves his flowers too. He was amazing as well. Amazing.
Yeah, these guys was locked in defensively on so many different guards.
Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of guards.
Absolutely.
They definitely not have their day against them too. I take them.
Of course.
Oh, we got one slob. What's good?
Hey, real fast, bro. Real fast, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just let y'all know who jumped in real fast. We got Japheth McNeil in the house with us. Two Christ the King greats on appreciate you so.
Are we live? Is this?
Are we live?
Are we live? Is this the hottest platform that's walking right now, man?
My dog.
Tune in. What you mean, Flea?
Yo, I appreciate you so much, big dog. Appreciate you so much. Hey, listen, we ain't gonna take nothing from Just, because this is Just time.
Yeah, right.
But I had to tap you in real fast, because we spoke on this situation with Lincoln in the State Federation Championship, and you spoke on how much you hated that game. So I got Just on. I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that game, what y'all remember most about that, about that experience, man.
Me and Just, we always talk about little stuff like that, and that's one of the ones where we felt that we gave up. Like we gave that one up. Like that always come to bite us. Like when we get to that conversation, it's always that look in each other's face, like
yeah.
Because we had a great year, man. We had a great year, and respectfully, everybody was going their ways. Like Just was, big time. He was going his way. Mitch was. Everybody was going their way. I was going my way. We thought that was the icing on the cake, and we gave that one up 10 in the fourth.
Oh, that's tough.
All 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Come on, Flea. We supposed to be like,
Chip. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it happens like that, and I think it made us better players. It made us better players going on to our next. You know what I mean? Because it was like, all right. It woke us kind of up to be like, yo, we got to get better at the next level. You know what I mean? Because that was our next. It made me a better player.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you got to look at yourself and be like, all right, we could have stepped it up. That, right there to win a state championship, and we kind of like let that one go. So
right.
Still a conversation to this day, honestly.
That's dope. 15 plus years later.
Yeah,
y'all still talking about that, man.
Yeah,
that's dope.
That's real. That's real. And I just want to shout out to Just, man, out there in Luxembourg doing your thing, broski. I'm out here in Germany. Don't get it twisted. We well connected, but I've been gone for this month, but Just out there doing his thing, and I'm saluting to JM basketball and Just, man. That's you got to give him flowers, man.
Absolutely.
And deserve it.
100%. Yo, Ja, I appreciate you tapping in for a second, brother. You know how we rock. I love you.
You know how we rock it, Flea. I gotta touch down and say what up to the bros.
You know
it's
that.
Like
you know
12:42 my time.
I know it's late. I know it's late where y'all at. I thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much.
But you know what, Flea? You special, so you get all that. All right?
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I'm gonna tune to the rest of the interview, Josh. You
appreciate you tapping in, brother. We're gonna talk soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
Josh, you still with me, brother?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. I just
My
want
brother, my brother, my
look
brother. I know.
still here.
Listen, that's the first time I did that, but I know you would appreciate that. That's your teammate, that's your brother. So
Nah.
that
Of course, you know how me and him rock.
yeah,
So that
exactly.
brother forever. You know, it's Mamba.
100%.
You know, like it's the platform that a lot of kids, you know, a lot of people got to know. Like, you know, taking those losses, you know, we still
100%.
go to that and say, you know, we could have won that. We could have
We
won
could
that
have
state.
won that. Absolutely. 100%. So, you know, y'all got to chew on that loss for a little bit, right? It's senior year. That's the last game. You know, that's a gut punch, right? But still, we looking forward. We still going forward. We still thinking about what the dream is. Obviously, as an inner city kid, the dream is the league, right? But before you make that step, I want to play Division I basketball. You got an opportunity to play for Iona College. Talk to me about how you decide to go there. And was there anybody else that could have got you? Anybody else that could have pulled you from Iona?
I mean, you got a guy like at the time, Jeff Rulin, who's a former NBA All-Star, Tony Childs, great coach as well.
Yeah.
You know, stepping into your living room in Corona, Queens. Man, I signed early. I signed early. I wasn't even trying to wait around. I said, hold on,
Right.
you know, this is a situation where my family can actually come see me play, being that, you know, it's in New Rochelle. In case there's any kind of emergency, I can get back wherever I need to go.
Right.
At first I was thinking I need to leave the city and, you know, be as far away as possible just so I can like focus in. But, you know, I felt like I had the right coaching staff, the right environment for me to succeed. So Iona was an early choice for me.
Okay.
I kind of made that decision not too long after school started my senior year.
Okay.
I did have a lot of coaches come to the crib, a lot of mail, a lot of offers from a lot of local schools all over the country at the time. You know, playing for Christ the King, that platform, that showcase right there. You know, a lot of coaches came to the gym and spoke and everything. My grades were good. Grades were good, so a lot of colleges were offering. But I felt at home with Iona being right there.
Okay.
The coach being a NBA, you know, an NBA player as well.
Of course.
That it just made sense.
Right. So, you know, you spoke on Jeff Rulin being an NBA All-Star, NBA vet. There's got to be a certain style that he brings, you know, to you guys as a coach. You know, what kind of style was that? And you know, what kind of effect did that have on your game, you know, coming in as a freshman?
It was a war. It was a war in practice.
Okay.
So let me just try to refresh it. We had, you know, the guys that was in there before me was from All Hallows. You had 3 guys from All Hallows. You had 1 guy from Rice. You had another guy from St. Ray's. You had another guy from Mount Vernon. So these
You're
are
taking all the kids from the city.
These are all rival schools.
Yeah.
Rival schools that one trying to be a team.
Yeah.
So our practices were, I would say, you know, like wars. And I think that's what kind of like molded us in that environment to be successful, for sure.
That's crazy. I never thought about that aspect of, you know, you coming to the team and Steve Bird is already there, right? Steve Bird is from Rice.
This is a All Hallows with the +1 of Rice. You know, Mount Vernon. Like it was different because it's like, yo, I just competed against this guy. You know, like
right.
I don't
now
like,
you might,
you know, like you know what I mean. But
yeah,
it was all love. But like as far as like that basketball aspect, it was like, you know, we would talk so much stuff to each other because we was rivals just you know, just a year ago. But it was great competitive spirit. Those guards was dogs, just like Ja and Mitch. And you know, eventually we had some success there for sure.
Nice. Right. So your junior year is a special season, you know, for Iona men's basketball, right? Before we get to that run to the dance, right? I want to talk specifically on something. There is the MAC championship game against St. Peter's. Somebody by the name of Justin Marshall hits a 30-foot buzzer beater at halftime that almost gets nominated for ESPN top play on SportsCenter, all that. Take me back to that game, man. Talk to me about that shot, and, your emotions throughout that time.
Oh man, St. Peter's was a school that had offered me prior to this. St. Peter's was a school that offered me.
Okay.
Kiki was there at the time, and George Jefferson, God rest,
Okay.
God rest. George Jefferson was a friend of mine, so I definitely took the visit to go visit him.
Okay.
And he showed love and everything. Ja actually went with me. It was, I took the visit to visit my guy, and it was all love there. So for me to play against St. Peter's, my junior year to get to the MAC championship, I would have to say that shot was all for George. You know what I'm saying? That was like as much as I made the shot, I practiced so many times. I just felt like he was there smiling, at the time. But that was a big shot. It was when I got home, it was all over ESPN, and I had fun with that one for sure.
That's dope. Yo, that's fire. That's fire. It's funny that visit you're talking about, going to St. Peter's, you and Japheth. Ja was talking to me when he was on prior, and he said he went on the visit and he was hoping that Kiki would embrace him. He said Kiki didn't say one word to him the whole visit.
I mean, but you gotta understand the time.
Right.
And Rice was not, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Now Ja's coming off his great junior year, in this, St. Peter's where Kiki's supposed to be. I didn't expect it to be, like
some
that.
love, yeah.
I didn't expect it to be like that, because I know how much, them two is both competitive. So I just felt like they looked at it like, like what you doing here kind of thing. But
right.
But those are both great guys. I know both of them, and
100%.
But at the time, for sure, it was always going to be tension between them New York City guards. That's just how it was. That's just how it was. Definitely. No matter what during that era.
Great opportunity right there, your junior season, right, Just? You guys make that incredible run. Y'all get to the NCAA tournament. Now, as a college basketball player, that's probably the biggest stage that you can play on, right? Despite that loss, what was that experience like? How did you take that all in? Talk to me about that time.
I think whenever you play in any kind of sport, you want to get to the highest level that you can get at.
Of course.
I was fortunate enough to play in the city championship, play in the state championship, playing a MAC championship, conference tournament championship, and then playing the NCAA tournament. Those experiences, I just tell people you gotta savor those moments.
Absolutely.
We played
100%.
We played against LSU. We got a lot of coverage from the city that year.
Right.
Multiple networks covering us, following us, and stuff like that. And it's a good. You just, you're on top of the city because you're one of those schools that came out of your conference. So, I thought it was a great time. I would tell everybody in my neighborhood, how I felt, how it was going. I told all the kids in my neighborhood, you just got to keep striving and playing and doing what you got to do, and good things happen. But I think it was great for the city to see a bunch of kids from all these different programs on one team go to the tournament. You had kids from Harlem, kids from the Heights, kids from the Bronx, kids from Queens. We was all on one team. Made it to the tournament. So I thought the city kind of was behind us, because no matter what part of the city you was from, you had to root for somebody on that team.
You still from the 5 boroughs. You still from New York City, and everybody's trying to eat. That's love.
I know I had Queens root for me, so
no question. I remember that run. Very vivid. I'm still in college, watching that. That was special. You played in that game though, right? didn't play much, but if you could speak to your toughest matchup in college, you played against Big Baby in that game, right? Who would
Big
be
Baby.
your toughest? Who
Don't
would be your
forget.
toughest
Don't
matchup?
forget Tyrese Thomas at that time too.
Tyrese
Uh,
Thomas is on that team too.
there was a young Garrett Temple on that
Ah,
as
okay.
well, and they had a good senior point guard who was getting buckets in the SEC conference that year. That team went to the Final Four,
Yes, they
so
did.
it
Yeah.
was definitely a tough matchup. But
Mhm.
at halftime, I think we it was a close game at halftime, but eventually, second half they kind of wore on us a little bit. But
Okay.
in college, it was so many different tough matchups. I know
I'm
I had to
sure.
guard a lot of tough guys. We
I'm
played
sure.
UConn, that championship team that
Oh, okay. With
national.
With Okafor and all of them over there.
Charlie coming off the bench,
Yeah.
leaking them like
Hmm.
it's so many. I
Yeah.
can't get into detail about who's to who, but
I
any
got you.
given night in college was especially the non-conference games
Of course.
big.
I spoke on, at the beginning, I spoke on, how I remember you just being such a high flyer, just playing above the rim so much. I'm sure you've had plenty of dunks in your time. Is there one that sticks out in your mind? Like, when you just sitting back thinking about hoops and you're like, damn, I dunked on him, or, damn, I threw that down. What do you have one that sticks out to you the most?
Uh, I probably got one that I never got the chance to get the film on, but I know it was nasty.
Oh, okay.
It was definitely in Fordham University, and my man at the time, Brian Dunstan. I
B.
remember
Dunstan,
I went baseline. That's my guy though, Brian Dunstan. He's doing
man,
really well out here in Europe.
man, love the Baron Dunstan, man. Love,
Euro
yeah,
Euro League Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. But I went baseline, and I know he jumped and put them hands back.
yeah.
I mean, we lost the game, but
Uh-huh.
I was one of those. I wish I can. If somebody at Fordham, I know my guy's working there now. Kyle Neptune as
Kyle
the head.
Neptune,
Right?
yeah,
Maybe go back
yeah.
and find that tape because that was probably one of my better dunks in college.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So you're graduating now. Obviously basketball is still on the brain. Basketball is still, is still what you're striving for.
Of
You
course.
get drafted in the USBL first round,
Oh yes.
eighth pick. What was that experience like playing for the Brooklyn Kings, man? What was that?
What I would like to say is I needed that so bad. I needed that experience bad before I actually went overseas.
Okay,
On that team, it was like a 3-month league, which was
okay,
very vital. And a lot of guys there's a few guys getting picked up from that league to go to the NBA. Like Jamario Moon was in that league at the
okay.
time.
Remember him?
Albany, the team in Albany had a few guys that were playing in that league. I needed that to kind of like hear the stories about being a professional.
Okay,
I knew Mills was on that team with me, and Anthony Glover, the former St. John's player, was there,
definitely
and they
remember.
were able to kind of like mentor me for that short period of time
Okay,
into being a professional, which
mm,
countries they had experienced and stuff like that, and that kind of helped me.
okay,
I definitely needed that right after college because that season started up. I would say maybe 2 months after my senior season. So it
okay.
was
So you kind of went right into
right into
it.
right
Okay,
into it before I actually went to Portugal.
okay. So you get out to Portugal now. That's your first experience, but looking back now, would you consider your first experience overseas your best, or where did you have the best situation playing overseas?
I would say Portugal was obviously I was in the zone going into Portugal because I just came off the USBL season.
Mm,
I was in shape. Everything was right. I was just like, you know what, this might be my country.
okay,
Kind of stayed. Portugal was my first year. I was locked in. You know,
Okay.
I was locked in for that season. It was a great year. And I should have went back. I should have
Okay.
went right back to that environment, you know, what
Uh-huh.
I knew. But I went for the bread, and I went
Okay.
to Austria
Okay.
following year. But I would say Portugal. That first year at Portugal was obviously a strong year for me.
Okay.
And then I went to as a young player, you like, all right, time to go collect
Wherever
the
the
next
money.
country,
Yeah.
which I probably should have stayed in Portugal at the time.
Okay. Okay. Let's get you back. Still with me? I got you. I got you. Your toughest experience, you know, when guys go overseas, right? You know, just adapting, being over there by yourself, the language barrier, different foods, time zones, things like that. Where was your toughest experience, you know, playing overseas?
I would say probably Austria.
Okay.
I say probably Austria. I had the language, could not get it down.
Uh-huh.
You know, Austria was I think I was in my best shape as far as like playing when I was out there, but as far as like the language and trying to get accustomed to things, that was one of the hardest experiences as far as like not bad, but like tough as far as like tough experiences, probably Austria.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Okay. JM basketball, Justin Marshall basketball.
Yes, sir.
You know, elite training, youth basketball. You know, just training everybody. Can you talk to me about how you started that program? You know, what's the goal for it? You know, what kind of, you know, what direction are we taking this Justin Marshall basketball thing?
I just I remember all the guys, all the coaches that helped me out over the years. The Nate Blues, the Tony Childs, the Jeff Rulins, the Sam Worthings, Sid Jones, Kenny Charles of USBL.
Yes.
Those guys helped me out, and I was just like, man, you know, eventually, at the time, I'm playing the game.
Okay.
And I don't have the time to sit down and train somebody else because I'm training myself to get myself where I need to be.
Right.
But the overall bigger picture is I need to make sure that I give back to my people, you know, give my the kids in my neighborhood, the guys that I know, the experiences that I'm experiencing. I need to share this with people.
Right.
So, you know, once everything kind of slowed down, I was like, all right, this is the opportunity for me to create my company and give back and help out the youth with my knowledge and stuff. So it started off with a few people who wanted to learn and experience. Yeah. Then I started getting a few pros in, and we've been rolling ever since. I had made my shirts and everything for myself at first, just for myself. You know, just I want to make sure I got my own stuff. And then everybody's like, hey, you know, let me get one. So I started mass producing more shirts, shorts, and things of that nature. And it just became, you know, what it's become right now. And, you know, I just want to keep it growing for the most part. But
it's super dope, man. It's dope.
Yeah,
man. I'm following everything.
We sponsoring teams out here in Luxembourg where I'm at. Our primary spot here in Luxembourg. We got Facebook, Instagram. Just, you know, if anybody wants to catch up on it. But JM basketball is something I started. I love what I'm doing. I always feel like I'm helping out the youth, especially when I got like a bunch of young clients. I'm working on my French. I'm working on my German.
Nice.
English, like all these different languages in this one area. It's been very, very helpful.
That's dope.
Just thinking back, I did have a matchup in college. Jason Thompson was a NBA player for the Sacramento.
Ryder.
Yeah, Ryder. He was 6'10", you know, handle and everything.
Yeah.
In the MAC conference, it was like, what are you doing here? You know, but he was tough.
Hey, what Coach Rashad Bell talking about right now? Coach Doug?
You see how he came into the chat late? It says Coach Doug, no shout out. Who was the first coach I said? Fleet. Who was the?
You did say Doug. Yes, you did.
I'm gonna say it one more time for everybody that know Douglas Jones out of Queensbridge. You know, that's my guy. That's the ones, you know, you get that ride home. He's letting you know how you played. You know, he's letting you know what you need to do. He's always telling me to dunk on people. So, he got a lot of influence from how I started the game as far as like playing in you know, the teams and stuff.
That's dope. That's dope.
But
That's dope. That's
RB
dope.
he joined a little late. Just let him know that. You know, I know
Rashad jumped. Look,
all that,
Rashad jumped in and already calling you out. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the first person I shouted out on this platform.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You're right. You're right. You did.
He needs to get his flowers because he brought a lot of guys from my area, you know, together and all that, you know. So
that's dope. That's dope. That's dope, man. Hey, Just, man, I got some quick hitters for you, some fun questions. Little, you know, we have a little fun real fast before I get you out of here, bro. Is that cool?
Nah, like, hey, this is it's your world, man. I'm just here. I'm here.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Again, I'm gonna go back to it. High flyer, above the rim player. You know, like you said, Coach Doug is telling cats, yo, go dunk on him, right? I need your top 5 dunkers of all time. Your top 5 dunkers of all time.
My top 5. That's tough. That's tough. Vince.
Okay.
T-Mac.
Okay.
It's the light-skinned boy. Levine.
I like him. Yes.
Levine is nasty.
Yeah.
Dennis Smith Jr. He's nasty with it too.
Okay.
And who's the 5th? I can't think right now off the top of my head.
That's all good. That's all good. I wanted to check the temperature, see what see what kind of dunkers you impress you. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. Yeah. You've been able to play at a high level in high school. You've been able to play at a high level in college, and then you've been able to play at a high level on a professional level.
Let me just jump in there real quick.
Absolutely.
If there's anybody out here listening, I never missed any of my workouts. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the most important thing, was all the workouts, all the coaches that or agents and stuff who called in and said, you know, join this group, whatever. I never missed my workouts. I don't care, you know, how fun a time I had the night before, whatever the case is. I never missed out on my workouts. And for the young guys that's been in the gym, especially the guys that I've been looking after at Gauchos, shout out to CJ, Coach Croft, Money Mike, those guys over there that's been doing a good job with them kids at Queens.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to see and make sure that these guys and these kids get their workouts in.
Nice.
That's the most important thing, and that's what kept me in line. I never missed my workouts. I always made sure that I went 100%.
They need to hear that. 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 Well, I was just getting to, like I was, you know, again, you played at such a high level everywhere you've played at, right? If you had one moment, what would be the best moment as a basketball player for you?
That's a good question. I never really dipped into the past like that, as far as like saying, oh, this is where I was at my peak or anything like that. I've been such a team-oriented guy. It was like as long as there was success, I felt like I was comfortable there. So I can't really. I wouldn't dive into it. I had to take some time and really dissect where I felt like I was at my highest.
We're gonna have you back on, so we're gonna get that from you.
Nah, that's fine.
My man. That's dope. That's dope. Again, you said you grew up with a park right across the street from you, right?
Yeah, so 143 Park. We used to have a tour for NFC. That was that's where anybody showed up. Antoine Dobies, Tyleek Browns.
Yes.
Now, like, you know that area of Queens, so
absolutely. So you going over to 143, right? It's you and 4 other guys, 4 other players. Who's your other 4 you bring with you to run in the park?
143. Well, I gotta bring Charlie V.
Okay.
My man Saint from the block.
Okay.
Got a few other guys. My man John Mitch. One other. I probably bring somebody else that, you know, probably one of my young boys, just so they can get involved. You know what I mean? Like, always gotta have one young boy with me. So
Gotcha.
That'd be my team out there.
Nice. You gave some words in terms of, you know, not missing workouts, being dedicated and things like that. are there any other words of wisdom that you want to provide to the youth that may be watching right now, that, you know, to help them as they going through navigating this, you know, this basketball thing and this life thing, period?
I think you just gotta stay true to yourself.
Okay.
Stay true to the grind. You know, honestly, like, it's always great to be in shape, always ready for a workout, an opportunity. A lot of these guys, you know, things might not go their way, and they're just like, you know, they get into their feelings and stuff. And the true warriors is always, you know, battling and fighting all the way to the end. There's a lot of things that people, you know, go through, and
Right.
you just keep going. Like, my slogan for my company is "Rise above all." You know, I
Right.
live by that. I live by that. No matter the circumstance, it's like,
Okay.
keep picking yourself up. These
Yeah.
young guys just need to stay confident, stay in the gym, and stay positive. You know, like, you're gonna have bad days. It's
Yeah.
part, but you build a lot of character through that.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Hey, Just, man, I got one last question for you, but I appreciate you so much, brother, for, you
Now,
know,
of course,
just,
I wanted to get on here and speak. You know,
yeah,
talk to
man.
and chop it up for sure.
Yeah, man. This was special. This was great for me. You know, I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did, brother, because
Nah, of course, of course.
this was great, man. But again, I end all my interviews with this question, man. Again, new platform, something I'm trying to build. Again, this is all about showing love and giving you guys your flowers. If you could recommend anybody for this platform, Are We Live, who would it be? And before you answer, can you help me get them on the show?
I could always send a message. You know,
Okay.
but I think I got two guys for sure.
Okay.
I would say one, I'm gonna shout out a dude from my hood. I'm gonna say Nate Blue. I
Nate Blue.
think trying to
Okay.
get Blue on here is great for basketball, great for this
Of course.
space, especially what he's doing for the youth. And
Okay.
I would have to get my guy Mitch B in here, so he can speak on that third part of the, you know, that third part of.
I would love to tap in with Mitch. I had some other people trying to organize something on the side, so Mitch knows I'm trying to get in contact with him. So if y'all could work on that too, let me know, and I would love to, you know, rap with Mitch and Nate. You know, if
I say those two for sure. Nate Blue's instrumental for this game of basketball.
Okay.
And he's from Corona, so it's like I want him on there, and definitely Mitch
Okay.
Buford.
Mitch Buford. Definitely. Well, my brother, I appreciate you so much. Thank you again for taking some time out and doing this with me.
Now,
My dog.
of course, I hope this gets to the right ears and everybody understands. You know, it's a grind. You know, it's gonna be ups and downs, but
Yes.
you know, the people who stay true to this, you know, whatever lane you might go in, you might, you know, podcast, you know, agent, anything, you know, stay true to it, and you know, good things happen.
I appreciate those words, man. Again, thank you so much for tapping in with me, Just. We absolutely gonna keep in touch, brother.
Nah, of course, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, brother. Take care. Have a blessed night, man.
All right, you as well.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate y'all so much for tapping in with me. That was episode 49, yo. That was episode 49. That was Justin Marshall. Again, I'll have this posted on Are We Live Flea. I'm going to get back over there and post on there. I don't know. IG was acting a little weird, but I'm going to get that posted. I'm going to post this here as well. Y'all be able to catch me on all major podcast platforms. That'll be up tomorrow morning. Once again, I love y'all. Peace. It's Flea. I'm out of here.